Hello, everyone. This is Kanchana Padmanabhan, Director of IBM Concert. And today we will see how insights and remediations powered by AI is going to help Concert users. Um, to start off, a quick overview on what Concert is about. It is a tool that can help you gain a comprehensive view of your applications, looking at various topological aspects of the repositories, the code, the build artifacts that constitute your application, and the way these applications run within environments in a secure manner. So there are three aspects of these applications that Concert focuses on. The first one being security. Concert is able to detect vulnerabilities and exposures and ensure that developers are enabled with the power of AI to resolve these vulnerabilities and exposures in a quick manner. Um, and then taking it a little broader beyond security is resilience as a whole. What does it mean to have a application that is not just secure, but also an application that is resilient in the way it is built and resilient in the way it runs in production, right? And then there is compliance. A lot of enterprises are required to meet certain regulatory requirements, and these regulatory requirements are complex. They change over time, and it is a little bit it is extremely important to ensure that any product before it hits your, or any application before it hits your the users are get the necessary compliance certifications before they are pushed out. So if you keep Concert aside for a bit and try to understand what are the general problems the industry is facing in each of these three areas. If you think about it, when it comes to security, you would hear things like it's complex, it's overwhelming, and more importantly, it's monotonous. I haven't heard that many developers who are as excited to address security issues as they are about creating newer functionality. So there is that level of uh, it took to say monotony and lack of excitement, or is sometimes just sheer overwhelming aspect of security issues that make us feel that there is some help needed for our users in that space. Coming to resilience, it is extremely it is very subjective today. There isn't a tool that will be able to say, here is what resilience means, and here is how you achieve resilience. We have a lot of manual processes. We do not have an empirical way to say if these processes have been met. And also, how is our journey? How resilient were we yesterday versus how resilient are we tomorrow? And what are the goals for resilience, say, in the next quarter or so? Uh, with compliance, the challenge here again is complexity. It's pages and pages of documents that need to be read to understand what a particular compliance control means. More so because there is a legality and regulatory aspect associated to it. It becomes a little nerve-wracking to ensure that you're able to own up to a decision to say that you are compliant. It's probably possibly easier to say that, well, we are having these gaps in compliance, but for you to be able to go into an industry and confidently say that, yes, we are able to abide by this AI Act, or we are able to abide by this Healthcare Act, is a challenge, and Concert is able to help you with that. So with those challenges, let's try and see how is AI playing a role in Concert. As I mentioned in my keynote, there is a wave of AI coming almost every 2 years, and it almost feels that the industry is not giving us the time to adopt and refine what we want to provide for our customers. And the best way to do that is try to take it in parts, right? If you look at Concert, we have the assistant side, where it is full of I'm going to play this video so that you can see how that interaction works for a user. So on the assistant side, we have an interactive chat experience which will help you understand or even interact and ask, what are my environments where my applications are running? And as these are running, are there any security issues that are impacting them? And what is the prioritization for these security issues? And if I have to work on a particular vulnerability, I need to understand the impact that it is creating, right? Is it impacting one application, two application? Is it impacting all the applications? That way I have a clear idea on how I can put my focused attention on addressing the one that is most critical for my enterprise as a whole. um, a lot of what you will see in concert is explanations and remediations that are powered by AI. Even the ability to read a long text of how a CVE needs to be remediated and have that conversation with you to explain your approach that you need to take to resolve that is something that our assistants provide. Um, Beyond assistant, we also have AI playing a key role in code development. And by that, what I mean is, with all the richness of information that we have about securities and the recommendations to be able to fix it, how can we bring in automation to ensure that we are able to remediate those security tasks? We will always have a split in the audience, some who are able to confidently adopt AI, while some who want to be the AI, human in the AI loop, and ensure that every little thing, or at least the major things, that are reviewed by a human, and there is enough confidence and awareness of what is happening behind the scenes when AI is in work. So there is assisted remediation, where you'll have a Visual Studio Code plugin sitting right next to the developer, and it's able to give you the insights on how to remediate the problem. So right after this presentation, I'll take you through a live demo on how Visual Studio Code plugin in the Concert's Visual Studio Code plugin is able to assist developers to remediate problems. Console also has a component called workflows. You can think about it as a low-code tool for general purpose automation, and also the workflow that powers Concert to be able to take automated remediations for to resolve a problem. And here we use uh, NLP, right? There is natural language to text kind of an experience that has been in the industry for long. And we have leveraged that to see how a simple prompt presented in English can be converted into a low code, and that can basically either cut down all of your work, or at least give you a good enough starting point to say, here is how I approach the problem to solve this issue that I have in my hand. And then agentic AI, yes, the latest thing. The upcoming release of Concert in the second half is going to have agentic AI agents prevalent in two areas in specific. So if you look at resilience, as I mentioned, there isn't a standardized way to approach resilience, and Concert resilience profiles help you at least start the journey. And it's not going to be a one profile fits all kind of a situation. It always has to, you have to look at the application, you have to look at the nature of that application. Is it running on cloud? Is it running on premise? Is it a containerized application, or is it just a native application running on VMs? Is it running directly on a VM, or is it running on a host, on a cluster, or a Kubernetes cluster? So there are these various aspects that need to be accounted for before you start resilience, right? And what would have otherwise been done manually by someone looking up documents and picking up a set of requirements for the profile will now be automated through an agent. Compliance, here again, there are PDFs of controls that are presented to the compliance officers, and they have to go through them. And it's it's not just a one-time task, right? You have a 5.0, and you think you have got you have gotten good amount of automation to ensure that you're able to establish compliance for it, and then there is a 1.5.1, right? And you have to again go through the whole thing, and understand which are the new controls that have come in, and what is the approach that I need to take to remediate or comply by those. And agents can here again help here in with a very quick turnaround. They'll be able to say, here are the new controls for this new version of the regulatory catalog, and here is the way you can approach the problem to gain your achieve your level of compliance. So with that, I will move to a demo of the Visual Studio Code plugin. uh, Let me see. So can anyone here confirm that you're able to see my screen? It should say IBM Concert. Okay, hang on 1 second. Hello?
Hello.
Okay, so let me proceed. So I have a Concert here and a very simple application called Fortune Capital. Okay, for simplicity, hang on. For simplicity, it's an application that has one repository, and the repository consists of a few Python files. And let's see how secure this code is. I have uploaded the static scans for this application, and you'll see that there are a few exposures that need to be addressed. Some of them are priority 1, while rest of them are priority 3.
Hey, real quick. So we're
Yes.
still only seeing your desktop background image.
Okay, hang on. Let me restart sharing. How about now? Um, Anything?
There we go. There we go. All
Awesome.
set.
Okay. So again, just so that we have this on record, so there is a simple application called Fortune Capital. It consists of a single repository, and what we have there is a bunch of Python files. And our goal is to ensure that these Python files are free of vulnerabilities and exposures. So as a starting point, we uploaded the static scans, and then we can see that there are some exposures that have been detected. Now let's go into Visual Studio Code, where I have cloned this repository. Okay, I have a branch that I have created where I want to start fixing these problems. I go into this exposures tab, which is powered by the Concert Visual Studio Code plugin, and it's able to pull in all the security exposures that were that were captured by the static score scan. So some of them are complaining about hard-coded credentials. There is one that's complaining about untrust, the how the application running in debug mode is having a security concern. There are ones that are related to SQL injection, a typical problem when you have hard-coded strings in your SQL text, and then there are a few related to command injection as well. So let's say I pick a particular one and I say, remediate this for me, right? Okay. Give me a second. Okay. And I say apply remediation. So what it is going to start doing is it will first comment out the code that you had that was vulnerable, and then replace it with the safer code to fix the security problem. And in this particular case, what was happening is this variable was sent in as is into the command, which is not safe. Because you could have certain characters in that which are not escaped correctly, and there is a risk of running into malicious code executions when such things happen. So the fix is to just put them behind a within a shlx command, and then also ensure that the command executes as a sub process to not impact the main process itself, and also run with just the restricted privileges that it needs. Okay. Now, if I go back here to my terminal and say status, it would have changed a few files. I do git commit. Okay, and then git push. And when I go back here, I will see that the branch is created and I'm able to, hang on. Okay, give me a second. Okay, so I'm not sure what is stopping this from pushing it, but I'll get to that later. But so let's just use the file here to see what exactly it addressed, right? So it is able to look at so just let's look at the code here, right? It's able to comment out this code and inject it with this piece of code that's able to remediate the problem. Now, how many do I have to do? I have to do 2 of these, 4 of these, 3 of these, and 1 and 3 of these. It's going to be quite time consuming. So what if I say, you know what, go ahead and remediate all of these exposures for me? It's going to go through each of them one by one. And if I had got my push to work successfully, you would have been able to see how, the enormous amount of code that one would have spent at least 3 or 4 days to understand and write is going to be addressed by Concert plugin sitting right next to the developer within a matter of few minutes. Okay, so as this is working, let's see what's happening here. Yep, it has added fixes to 3 more files, and I know by the end it is supposed to address 4 of them. So let's give it a little more time. Okay, so all issues addressed, and now we have 4 of these with changes in them. Again, because Git is acting up, let's see if this shows up. Okay, it's not the best view, so you guys will have to just stay with this, and let's see if this comment goes through. Okay, let's go back and see if we are any luckier. Nope, unfortunately, no. But this had all worked, you can see that how Concert is able to remediate what 4, 8, 10, 13 exposures just by a single click, right? And think about the amount of time that it can take you. So that's the power of Concert plugins. It's able to sit right next to the developer and help them truly shift left when it comes to handling securities and vulnerabilities. Okay. We have about 8 minutes, and I'll take this time to quickly show the power of agents in Concert. Okay. Um, so this is going to be available in the upcoming release. And all I'm going to do here is enable this agent. And what's going to happen under the covers is there will be a schedule started that is going to that is going to kick off a job that's going to look through all the um, all the applications that are there on this cluster, and it's going to start creating what is called as the resilience profile to assess these applications. So if I had to do this manually, I would have had to go into these applications, okay, go through the documentation for these applications. And mind you, I am an SRE person, right? I want to look at the operational resilience, and I want to know how this all of this is architected so that I can ensure that I'm building something that is I'm doing the right checks for my application. So having to go through all of this and understand that, well, this is a microservice based application, and here are all the libraries of checks that are available here, but which of these are going to make sense for me is something that I have to go read through and understand, right? Give me a second while this is loading. Yeah. And there is a possibility that the checks performed by these libraries are not even are not complete enough for my application. And the agent is able to detect that and create a library with two more requirements, because it feels that based on the nature of the application, these two checks are also critical. And alongside, it has also started creating a profile for each of those 6 applications that you saw on that. It has started creating the Encode app. And if you just want to see what is in works, yeah, so it's still running it, and it's going to be creating profiles as we go. And once all of these have completed successfully, the application is ready to be assessed, right? And I'm not sure if I'll have enough time to go through the whole flow of actually running a resilience check, but I just wanted to, open it up in the last 5 minutes to any questions that you guys might have based on the presentation or the 2 demos that you guys saw now. Yep, it's doing more. I'm not sure if folks are able to unmute and ask questions if they have any. Okay. So more and more getting created as we speak. So here in the Spark application, it has detected these are the 10 requirements that need to be assessed for resilience. There is one that came in for Bravo app now. Here it's a little more comprehensive one, 15 checks. And here is where on this particular app, it is able to detect that there is a specific set of requirements needed from this AI library that needs to be kicked off. Let me also see, while because I have that profile created, if I'm able to run a resilience check on one of the application. While this is running, let's go back and see how this is updating. Okay, still doing its work. Okay, so here it's being able to perform an assessment on this application. And if you go back here, let's go and see if it's able to show the resilience score for this application. Okay, there you go. That's the Bravo app. A bunch of assessments that have been performed. And let's look at the latest one here. Right? So it's able to get the scores for some of these. Some of them are looking good. A lot of them don't have a score yet. Let's go back to see if there is anything else that's a little more interesting. Probably this one. Mm. So as we start getting more and more data, this will fill up better and you'll be able to see a good score of resilience for your application. Okay. Checking to see if there are any more questions. Okay. So that is AI in concert for you all. As I mentioned, there is an assistant that helps you that sits next to a developer or an SRE and helps with the day-to-day tasks, code development to help you actually write code, and agents like these that can help with automating multi-step tasks that can be time-consuming. With that, I'll close the call. Hey, thank you all.